So Meta has released a new video, and in this video you have Mark Zuckerberg going over some of their prototype headsets, which are actually really cool, and it's actually really exciting. And I have been using my Quest 2 for quite a while now, and honestly, it's like the coolest piece of tech that I have that I don't actually use. So I wanted to go over this. It's really cool, and yeah, future of VR right here. Okay, so this is the first prototype headset right here, and if we just scroll down, we have a very nice little layout here. So this is the actual headset, and the big spectacular thing with this thing is that it's just super sharp. So here you can see how sort of the original Rift looked. This is how Quest 2 kind of looks, and yeah, it's true. When you put it on, you can absolutely see pixels. Does it look like this? I mean, yeah, kind of, whatever. But this is just pretty insane. Yeah, super sharp, and I would say, as far as being immersed into this thing goes, I would say the resolution is definitely the biggest thing that needs improving. Refresh rate, it runs at 120 hertz, the Quest 2, which I think it's fine. It's obviously going to go up as technology matures, and it's also going to help a lot of people because a lot of people still get motion sickness from these things, and the high refresh rate will definitely help with that. But resolution, I would say at this point, is definitely the more important part. And there is also something that they didn't cover that is an issue that I would like resolved, so I'll talk about that in the end. But let's move on to the second headset. So this one is special because it sort of uses eye tracking and some other technology that they have, so your eyes basically can focus on something that's like in front of you or something that's like further away from you, like in real life, because this right now it's just how it is. So when you get close to subjects in VR and stuff like that, like when something's far away, it's like pretty good, but when it gets close, it can get kind of weird, and you kind of have like everything in focus and stuff. So, definitely something for the next generation of VR headsets. Oh, and then we have this thing. So this is supposed to be, as far as Meta knows, the first HDR VR headset out there. So with HDR, you're obviously just gonna get way nicer colors, way nicer dynamic range, just better lighting overall. So this has a typical LCD display in there. You don't have this super deep blacks and stuff like that, so it's really cool. I have tried my Galaxy S8 that has an OLED HDR display in like the Google Cardboard headset, and it is really cool when you can have a legitimately completely dark scene with a few lights in between. So yeah, this thing looks pretty ridiculous. I mean, look at these two like knocked to a fan strapped on top handles, because you actually need to hold it because it's gonna be so heavy. So HDR definitely cool. Not like super necessary in my opinion, unless you're dealing with a lot of like darkness and stuff. It's pretty fine, colors are pretty good, but yeah, obviously getting colors better, getting the blacks better, stuff like that, it's just gonna help you feel more immersed, stuff like that. And then there's this last little guy. Let me see. Here it is. So it's this little tiny headset. So this is what they are trying to cram all of this technology into, and obviously it looks a lot better than this gigantic thing. It's a little bit annoying when you have to like strap this thing on to use it and stuff like that. So obviously the technology is going to downsize as time goes on, and this is apparently an operational prototype. Now I don't know if it has any of like these technologies in there. Probably not. It's probably something like a Quest 2, just like downsized, which is still pretty cool. Now, my biggest issue, to be honest, with this thing, or well, a few issues that I'm gonna go over. So, first of all, the lenses. The problem with the lenses are if you're doing anything more physical, right? So, let me just switch to this real quick. So if you're doing anything more physical, you know, if you are using this thing, playing Beat Saber, playing VR boxing, if you're just moving, if you are not just playing a game where you just stand and like kind of wave around a little bit, you kind of start to sweat, you know, especially if you're not in a perfectly, you know, temperature controlled room, you know. But if you're playing Beat Saber, like the harder levels, if you're doing something like VR boxing, if you're doing a shooter game and you're constantly waving your arms around, you are gonna sweat. It is a legitimate workout. So the problem is these lenses fog up, and it's really annoying. So I think they really need to implement some sort of a, I don't know, like a ventilation system or something like that. So that just doesn't happen, because honestly, that is my biggest issue with the current Quest 2. And then after that, I would love to have a higher resolution. And after that, I don't know, I'd probably take higher refresh rate over the nicer colors. But yeah, that is my opinion on it. Also, it's not bad, but it takes like a little bit of time to set up, you know, like you gotta put this on your head, you gotta like plug it in because you're gonna use it with your PC because everything just looks better. And it's kind of a long process to get into the game, you know. It's like the older days, like in the 2000s, when you would want to go play a video game on your desktop. You would press the button, you'd come back 1 minute later and it would be booted into Windows XP, and then you would have to wait another minute so it would actually load everything, and then you would need to wait like another minute so you load into the game. And so it takes a little bit, you know, and in today's culture we're kind of used to just get into something real quick. So but yeah, really cool, amazing stuff. You know, Oculus has been making headsets for a very long time. Obviously now it's owned by Facebook, or well, Meta as they call themselves now. So it's, you know, it's really nice to see that they're putting all of that money towards R&D, towards research and development, trying to push the technology forward. It is fantastic, and yeah, super exciting stuff.